The diversity book that I picked was The Name Jar. It's by Yang Suke Choi. I probably butchered the name, so sorry for that. I picked this book because everyone has a name, and with that being said, not everyone likes their name all the time, and so I think it's really important to be able to talk about your name and just know that you're not alone. Not everyone loves the name that they were given. So I think it's a great way to also celebrate diversity because your name is as unique as you. It's the first starting point of being unique. So I just thought it would be a great book to read. The theme of the book is this girl, she just moved here from Korea, and she doesn't really like her name compared to the names that she hears. She had a really rough encounter the first time she was here on the bus, and she just didn't like being teased about her name because it was different. So I'm going to read the book, and then I will talk about an activity we can do together. So, The Name Jar. Through the school bus window, Yunahi looked out at the strange buildings and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day, and she was both nervous and excited. So that's Yunahi. She fingered the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother wiped away Yunahi's tears and handed her an ink pad and a small red satin pouch. "Your name is inside," she had said. "My name," Yunahi had wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch to look at the wooden block with her name carved on it. As she ran her fingers along the grooves and ridges of the Korean characters, she pictured her grandma's smile. "Is that thing for show and tell?" a boy asked Yunahi, surprising her. Yunahi looked up as more children leaned over. "No, it's mine," Yunahi answered quickly, putting the pouch back in her pocket. "Are you new here?" "What's your name?" the girl asked. "Yunahi." "Une?" the girl asked, scrunching up her face. "Ooh, ooh, 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 Une," some kids chanted. No, Yunahi corrected. "It's spelled U-N-H-E-I. It's pronounced Yoonhei, or Yunahi." "Oh, it's Yoonhei," the boy said, "like you hey. What about hey you?" Just then the bus pulled up to the school and the doors opened. Yunahi hurried off. "Hey you hey, bye-bye," the kids shouted as she left. Yunahi felt her face getting red. Yunahi stood in the doorway of her new and noisy classroom. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face still felt red. "Aren't you going in?" a curly-haired boy asked that had lots of dots on his face. "You're the new girl, right?" he asked cheerfully. Yunahi nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. "Here's the new girl," he announced it so loudly that the teacher, Mr. Cockatoos, almost dropped his glasses. Mr. Cockatoos thanked him and greeted Yunahi. "Please welcome our newest student," he said to the class. "She and her family just arrived from Korea last week." Yunahi smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. "What's your name?" someone shouted. Yunahi pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked one yet," she told the class, "but I'll let you know by next week." As Mr. Cockatoos showed her to her desk, she felt many round, curious eyes on her. "Why doesn't she have a name?" she heard someone whisper. "Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea and needs a new identity," the boy replied. On the bus home, nobody teased her, but Yunahi kept thinking about her name. "How is school, Yunahi?" her mother asked when she walked in. "Did you understand the teacher?" Yunahi simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandma. "I'm glad you're learning English well," her mother said. "You must study hard, behave nicely, and get good grades to show that you're a good Korean." "I will," replied Unahi, but I think I would like my own American name," she said quickly. Her mother looked at her with surprise. "Why, Unahi is a beautiful name. Your grandma and I went to a name master for it." "But it's so hard to pronounce," Unahi complained. "I don't want to be different from all the American kids." "You are different, Unahi," she said. "That's a good thing." Unahi just wrinkled her nose. Later that day, Unahi and her mother went to the grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Vlad's Falafel, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or looked familiar until they got to Kim's Market. The sign was in both English and Korean. Her mother picked up the cabbage called kimchi, Korean-style spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meats. She also found some seaweed, Unahi's favorite, for soup. It made Unahi smile. "Just because we moved to America," her mom said, "doesn't mean we have to stop eating Korean food." At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Unahi. "Helping your mother with shopping?" he asked. Unahi smiled. "I'm Mr. Kim," he said, "and what's your name?" Unahi answered. "Ah, what a beautiful name." He said, "Doesn't it mean grace?" Unahi nodded again. "My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it," she told him. "A graceful name for a graceful girl," Mr. Kim said as he put their groceries into the bags. "Welcome to the neighborhood, Unahi." That evening, Unahi stood in front of the bathroom mirror. "Hi, my name is Amanda," she said cheerfully. Then she wrinkled her nose. "Hi, my name is Laura." "Maybe not." She smiled and her smiles turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. "I don't think American kids will like me," she worried as she began to brush her teeth. "Ha, hu, mani, suku, shu," she said to the mirror as her mouth filled with toothpaste. The next morning when Unahi arrived at school, she found a glass jar on her desk with some pieces of paper in it. Unahi took one out and read it aloud. "Daisy, that's my baby sister's name, but she said you can use it if you want," said Cindy, who sat next to her. Unahi took out the rest of the paper. "It's Tamala," she said. "I got it from a storybook," said Nate. "She was smart and brave." Unahi nodded and unfolded another piece. "Wednesday?" "Yeah, you came here on Wednesday," said Ralph. Thank you. Thank you for your help," she smiled. Ralph quickly said, "We'll put more names in. You can pick whatever you like, or pick them all, and you'll have the longest name in history." At 3 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of the school day. Unahi looked out the window and saw it was sprinkling. "It's the same rain," she thought, "but in a different place." She watched the other kids leave in groups. "Hey!" a familiar voice called out to her. Unahi turned around to see the curly-haired boy again. "I'm Joey," he said. "And you?" "Don't you have any name?" Unahi thought for a moment. "Well, I can show you," she said. She took out a small red pouch. She pressed the wooden block on the ink pad and then stamped it on a piece of paper. "This is my name stamp," she said. "My grandma gave it to me. In Korea, I can use it as a signature when I open a bank account or write a letter. And whenever I miss my grandma, I use it to fill a piece of paper. Want to try it?" She offered the stamp to Joey, and he carefully inked the stamp and pressed it hard on the paper. The red characters gleamed against the whiteness. "Wow, that's beautiful," Joey said. "Can I keep the paper?" "Sure," said Unahi. And then the two of them shared her umbrella as they walked to the school bus. Every day the jar got fuller with more names, and Unahi read them all. She found a few names she liked. Miranda, Stella, Avery, they sounded interesting. "I hope you choose the name I put in," Marco told her at snack time. "I've put in 3 more," said Ralph. "Madison, Park, and Lex. They're my favorite street names." "Maybe you should close your eyes and draw a name," Rosie suggested. Ralph frowned. "That's silly. What if she doesn't like the name she draws?" "Well, we didn't get to choose our names when we were born, did we?" Rosie argued. Everyone thought about this. When Unahi got home from school that day, her little brother ran to give her a letter. It was from her grandma. She opened it quickly. It said, "To my Unahi, I hope you are enjoying your new school and new friends. Be sure to help your mother and your little brother. The moon is up here, but the sun is up there. No matter how far apart we are, no matter how different America is from Korea, you'll always be my Yunahi, your grandma forever." Yunahi took out the wooden stamp and filled a piece of paper with it. She thought for a long time in front of the bathroom mirror. On Saturday, Yunahi walked to Mr. Kim's store. Mr. Kim was helping a customer, but he looked up and greeted her. "Hi, Yunahi." "Hello, Mr. Kim," Yunahi replied. She felt as if she was back in her old neighborhood in Korea. "Hey," said the customer, turning around. It was Joey. "Your name is Yoonhee?" he asked when she asked her with his eyes open wide. Yunahi looked at Mr. Kim quickly and then turned to Joey. She nodded slowly. "Yes, it's pronounced Yunahi." "It means grace," Mr. Kim added. "Yunahi," Joey said slowly and this time perfectly. It made Yunahi smile. "I'll have it ready for you tomorrow," said Mr. Kim to Joey. "Thank you, Mr. Kim. See you Monday, Yunahi," Joey said to her. He left before she could ask why he was at the store. On Monday, Yunahi came to class early to look at the names one last time. But the jar wasn't on her desk. Instead, there was a single piece of paper, with a name on it. Yunahi slipped it into her pocket. "Where's your name jar?" Ralph asked as soon as he saw it was gone. "I don't know," said Yunahi. "It wasn't on Mr. Cockatoos' desk or on any other desk, and it wasn't on the counters or any of the shelves. The other kids arrived, they helped look." Soon Mr. Cockatoos came in and Ralph shouted at him, "The name jar is gone, the jar with all the names in it." "Gone," Mr. Cockatoos replied. With a look of concern he asked Yunahi, "Did you get a chance to read all those names?" Yunahi nodded. She took a breath. "I'm ready to introduce myself," she said. Yunahi wrote her name in both English and Korean on the chalkboard. "I liked the beautiful names and the funny names you thought of for me," she told the class, "but I realized that I liked my name best, so I chose it again. Korean names mean something. Yunahi means grace." "Grace, grace, and hi," shouted Ralph. Everyone tried to say it. Yanahi, Yunaye, Yunahe. Yunahi said with her name again slowly and clearly. Soon the kids began to say it better, even Mr. Cockatoos. They applauded Yunahi's choice. "I was named after a flower," Rosie whispered to Yunahi. "Lots of American names mean things too," said Mr. Cockatoos, reminding everyone. When the class was dismissed, Yunahi heard her new friends say goodbye. "Bye, Yunahi. See you tomorrow. Bye, Yunahi." Yunahi said goodbye and looked around for Joey, but he was already gone. Yunahi, come downstairs," her mother called up to Yunahi. "Your friend is here." Yunahi rushed down to see who she meant. There stood Joey, and in his arms was the name jar. "Where did you find it?" Yunahi asked breathlessly. Joey looked embarrassed. Well, I took it, but only because I wanted you to keep your own name. And you did." He reached in and pulled out the names. "Do you want to keep them?" he asked. "Thank you. I'll keep them as a souvenir," Yunahi said happily. Then she pulled out a piece of paper from her pocket. "Do you want this back?" Joey grinned. "You can keep it. I'll return the name jar to the class. Maybe you can put some more Korean nicknames in it for us. Names are with good meanings." "I can do that," agreed Yunahi. "I've already got a Korean nickname," Joey said. "Mr. Kim helped me choose it." Carefully he pulled out a small silver felt pouch from his pocket. Then he took out a dark wooden stamp with the beautiful Korean characters carved sharply into it. He pressed it on the ink pad and then on a piece of paper next to her name. "Chinku," read Yunahi. "That means friend." And Chinku smiled back. I thought this was a really, really cute book, and it's a great way for kids to feel included. The best activity that I came up with was having the kids make their own name jar. So we could all put names in and pull out different names at the beginning of the school year to just kind of like a get to know you type of thing, or if a new student shows up. It's a great way to just kind of get to know people, just learning their name first, then you can tell a little about yourself, something like that, kind of like a breaking the ice. You can also clap out syllables if you want to do a like just work on phonics and breaking down words, and their names are very familiar to them, so they can clap out the different syllables of their name. Another activity we can do is with math. It's for younger kids. You can make a bar graph with your name, and each of the letters of your name can be a different part of the different layer of the graph, I guess. And you guys everyone can graph their names to see whose names are short, whose names are long, just to compare the name length. It's a fun way, an easy way to graph things. But yeah, the Name Jar is the book that I picked, and I think it's a great way to help students feel included and even get to know the history of their name. Like, you could have all the students have a conversation about comparing their names and like the history of why they were named that. So I think that's a really fun and exciting thing to do. So there you go.